All right, so first-time home buyers are wondering, what do I have to do to finally get into the market? I've had people come up to me and say, I don't have 100,000 or 50,000 to get into the market. I'm going to show you exactly how much you need to get into the market. First and foremost, you need a down payment. Down payment is a minimum of 5% under 500,000. It slightly changes above from 500,000 to a million, but let's say you're buying a home for 400,000 in this example, or a condo actually in 400,000. Minimum down payment is $20,000. When you pay from 5 to 20% of the purchase price, you pay into something called CMHC insurance. This is tacked to your mortgage, which is a rather large amount, but the HST is payable on the closing. This would be part of your closing costs. For 400,000, you'll see that the CMHC is somewhere around $15,000 tacked to your mortgage. In this example, for the closing costs, $1,975 would be payable on the closing, so slightly under $2,000. If you're able to get up to 20%, which would be $80,000, this gets dissolved. Then you have land transfer tax. So first-time home buyers, you get a benefit of an automatic rebate. So you don't have to have the cash up front to pay and then you get it back at tax time or anything like that. Generally speaking, if you're buying land transfer tax, it would be $4,475. With your rebate, it gets knocked down to $475. Then you have your lawyer fee. Your lawyer fee will fluctuate depending on the lawyer you hire. Generally speaking, it can be as low as $1,300 all the way up to $2,000, depending on the scope of work involved. Home inspection. So a home inspection could be up to $500 usually, and that includes a 3-hour walkthrough of the property with the inspector. And generally speaking, they're very important when you're looking at freehold properties, but maybe not as important when looking at condominium properties where the elements such as your heating, your cooling, your roof, the structure itself are covered under maintenance fees or a secondary insurance policy. Appraisal. So an appraisal is usually done from your mortgage lender. They'll arrange that with the selling party. Basically, it can fluctuate depending on your lender, whether it's an A lender, B lender, who you're using. Sometimes lending companies might provide an incentive by removing this fee. Generally speaking, when I just did my appraisal the other day, it was $300. Realtor fee. So this is the one that sort of gets... some people know, some people aren't quite sure how that works. They think it might be very expensive to hire a realtor to buy a property. Generally speaking, the realtor fee is usually free. I provide an asterisk as there are scenarios where, that's not necessarily the case, but in my career so far of 7 years, I've never had a buyer have to pay for the purchasing services. Reimbursements are situation specific. Common ones being, for example, property tax. One party has paid for a certain amount of time, and since you'll be taking ownership during that period, the prorated amount is then reimbursed to the other side. Another common one is maintenance fee. You move in mid-month, they've paid for the month, you would have to reimburse them for that half month or prorated to the specific date. Okay, so generally speaking, what we have here is, when I add it all up, just a little bit over $25,000 with reimbursements. So reimbursements, let's cap it off at somewhere between $27,000 to $30,000. With that, you're able to enter the market. And I will go into another video about what costs you need monthly to live off of, right? You got to pay your mortgage, or right now you're probably paying rent, your expenses for utilities, property tax. That'll be another video I'll touch up on. But if you have any questions about these expenses or specific to your scenario, you're looking to buy a $600,000 home, what are the closing costs for that? Reach out to me. Glad to go over them with you and make sure that you know the path ahead of you before you decide to walk it.